everyone. Today we're going to feature the humble tomato, which is actually a fruit and not a vegetable. My name is Chris. I am a diabetes nurse practitioner and I am passionate about plant-based cooking. In our kitchen today, we're going to talk about tomatoes. There's thousands of varieties of tomatoes, and obviously I only have two kinds here. So I have the vine ripened tomatoes here, and they call this at the store the Kumara tomatoes. I like it for its firmness, and I usually use this as a salad by itself or in combination with other dishes. But today we're really going to feature cooked tomatoes, which is in spaghetti sauce. So I've got 4 bottles of spaghetti sauce here because we're going to make spaghetti alla Puttanesca. Now, the spaghetti alla Puttanesca was actually probably created in the middle of the 20th century in Naples, Italy. There's so many varieties of spaghetti alla Puttanesca, but we're going to do our own and we're going to ump the nutrition on it. Now, going back to the tomatoes, it is very healthy. We're going to talk about 4 components that it has that makes it really good for us. First is the red pigmentation of the tomato, which is lycopene. And lycopene is richer in a tomato the redder the fruit is. And it's on the surface or the skin of the tomato. It's a very potent antioxidant. The second thing is beta carotene. Now, beta carotene is that yellowish hue that is in fruits and vegetables. Well, it's also in carrots, as you can see here, and it's also in bell peppers. But it is also another powerful antioxidant, and it's also very rich in vitamin A. The next thing that it has, and I'm gonna have to read this, is naringenin, which is a flavonoid, and it's also on the skin of the tomatoes. It is a potent anti-inflammatory. So when you eat that, you absorb that. You know, inflammation is really bad for the body. So when that kind of tames it down, that's very good. And the last thing I want to talk about is the chlorogenic acid, which actually helps in regulating and lowering blood pressure. So in making our spaghetti alla Puttanesca, you need to have all your ingredients ready because you want to make sure that you don't forget anything. Now, with spaghetti alla Puttanesca, you can use it with regular spaghetti, which I have here. And I love this brand. I just get this from Trader Joe's. But if you are gluten-free, there are some rice pastas out there or quinoa pastas that you can get. This one happens to be organic white pasta angel hair that you can use. I often like my spaghetti alla Puttanesca with penne because the grooves on the penne pasta absorbs that. And most likely towards the end of the week, I might make some lasagna and I'm gonna use the same sauce with it. And with spaghetti alla Puttanesca, it has some olives in there. Now, oftentimes they use black olives, but I have green olives here and I'm gonna use that. In some places in Italy, they actually use capers, or in other versions of spaghetti alla Puttanesca, it actually has anchovies, which we're not gonna do because this is the vegan version. So we're gonna make this into like a vegetable Puttanesca sauce. So it's like a vegetable ragu Puttanesca sauce. So it's gonna have a lot of ingredients. First, we have chopped up in here 2 tablespoons of garlic. I have half of an onion chopped up. I have 1 whole carrot chopped up. I have 1 whole red bell pepper chopped up. And this is about 2 cups of chopped cremini mushrooms. And on this plate right here, we have about a tablespoon of capers. That's what's gonna give its briny kind of fishy taste in it. And then of course the briny taste and the salty taste from the green olives. Now in terms of spices, we're gonna put some bay leaves. We're gonna simmer this in the oven for a long time, and I love the flavors of that. And then I have here is the herbes de Provence that I got from Antibes, or was it Marseille? One of those. And then I have granulated garlic powder here. I have no salt seasoning, which has a lot of vegetables and herbs in there. I have mushroom seasoning. And my secret ingredient lately has been paprika. I like that smokiness of the paprika kind of like seeping through the flavors of my spaghetti sauce. Now, completely optional is nutritional yeast, but I'm completely vegan and I like it because it bumps up the vitamin B12 in there. And, you know, I'm also kind of like incorporating the flavors of spaghetti alla arrabbiata, which is a little spicy. So you're gonna have some red pepper flakes in here. And to kind of deepen that flavor, I use like a 5-year-old aged balsamic vinegar that we're gonna put in there. In some cases, people cook with red wine. And this one right here is maple syrup to just kind of cut through some of those flavors. So if you come over here, I'm gonna bring this with me. I've already preheated my cast iron here. And I'm gonna put all the vegetables, all of them, because we're gonna sweat this out. And remember, I don't use oil in my cooking. So we're gonna put all of this in here. And you can hear that sizzling. I'm gonna water saute that. Let's put this all the way up so I can get the heat up a lot quicker. So we're gonna water saute that for a little bit until it kind of comes down. It will take about 5 to 10 minutes. And we're gonna add some of the flavors here. So these are your vegetables. You want to soften this where it kind of like just mixes with the sauce. Sometimes if there's still big chunks left on here, I do run my hand blender on here to kind of like cut them into a smaller consistency. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put our olives in there and a little bit of capers that we have. Okay. And we're gonna ump the flavor with all of the spices that we have. Just dump it in there. We're gonna put our chili flakes because you want a little bit of heat in there. The balsamic vinegar, that is about 1/4 of a cup. Your maple syrup, because you want to have it cut through some of the tartness in the tomatoes later on. And then I have this, and I'm just gonna put that all in there, simmer it for a few minutes, and then we'll be right back to add the tomato sauce. Welcome back. So it's been now like about 5 to 10 minutes of simmering, and if you come closer here, you can see that our vegetables have caramelized quite a bit. You want to kind of like stir this every now and then to make sure that your veggies do not stick to the bottom of the pan. And what we're gonna do next is add all the tomatoes. Now, if you didn't know, because I always get asked, you know, as a vegan, do you get your protein? And I can tell you that having all these tomatoes in here, each of this can actually has, this one has about 6 grams of protein for the whole entire can. And then each one of this have somewhere between 6 to 8 grams of protein per can. So no, we are not going to be lacking in any protein by eating spaghetti. And then there's other things that we can do to add the protein in there, and I'm going to show you after I put all of this spaghetti sauce in here. I am making a huge batch because I am going to be going to my sister's house and giving them their supply of this gorgeous sauce for the week, so they have something that they can just whip up in the middle of the week. And I'm always concerned about my nephew's nutrition because he is vegan. He has been by birth. However, he's very picky about vegetables. So if I can hide a lot of the vegetables into the spaghetti sauce, and then I feel like I'm doing my job in getting him his nutrition. He is venturing out now though. He likes carrots, he eats broccoli. He still doesn't like cucumbers, but he's expanding in his palate. So over here, just to kind of give you an idea of what I'm putting in here. This is Gardein. It's the beefless ground. As you can see, the whole package here, for every serving that you have, it has 18 grams of protein, and it is completely gluten-free. It has no cholesterol. It's about 110 calories per serving. So we're gonna just open this up here and put this in all of it. There. And we're gonna simmer this entire thing in the oven because I don't want to have to babysit it for a total of an hour at about 300 degrees Fahrenheit. And we'll be coming back and you can see how thick and how luscious this sauce is. We'll see you then. Welcome back. We have our pasta cooked al dente. I always remove it from heat about 1 or 2 minutes before it really completely cooks because I don't want soggy pasta. We've cooked this spaghetti sauce and simmered it in the oven as well. So we're gonna assemble right now. So I'm gonna take this bowl here, and if you wanna come closer, this is what our pasta looks like. It's still steaming, piping hot. We're gonna serve ourselves about a cup of pasta, and that should be about a cup. And we're gonna put our sauce in there. And this is pretty hot. As you can see, the flavors have melted. I'm gonna return this into the oven because I feel like it needs a little bit more simmering. But if you put like about a ladle in there, we cover it up so it doesn't cool down. And you can garnish it with some herbs. I don't have any right now, but I do have this vegan Parmesan cheese that you can put on top. It adds a little bit of flavor in there, and you can put like cracked black pepper in there, and this should be ready. So when you're putting this together, this is how much it actually has in terms of nutrients. So just reading it up for you, it has about almost 5 grams of fat, which is 14% of this meal. It has about 54 grams of carbohydrates, and 6 of those is fiber. And it also has about almost 13 grams of protein. So you're not lacking in your protein in this little bowl of pasta. Now, if you feel like it's not enough food, what you can always do is before eating your meal is eat a bowl of fruits. And this is for my husband and myself. So it's about a couple of large apples, and I put some cherries in there because it's cherry season here in California. Or that, if you want to pack some omega-3s, I also have a mixture of different kinds of seeds here. They're sprouted. I buy them at Costco. They have pumpkin, sunflower, and watermelon seeds in there. And 1/4 of a cup of any kind of nuts or seeds every day is really good for us. It does provide a little bit of negative calories. When you chew this thing, you can't really chew and digest all of it. And so when it says 180 calories, some of those calories are gonna be wasted. It's same with any types of like fruits that you're gonna eat raw. It's not gonna be the full calories. Like a medium-sized apple would be about 90 calories, but it has about 8 grams of fiber in there. And so all of these things are really good for the gut microbiome. So this is it. At the close of our video, bon appetit. I hope you'll try this recipe and pack your family with a lot of nutrition with the vegetables included in here along with the tomato sauce. Thank you again, and I hope you join us next time.